Let's see what we got. I got them turned all the way up. I can turn them up more, though. I have secret powers. Someone impersonated. Are you talking about Manked? So Manked, mod Manked ain't it? I hope not. I hope. Oh, man. I have to see what's going down with that. Well, Chris already did a lot of stuff, dude. Thing is, though, I think when people join the ranks of JMod as a new JMod, we expect them to change things. Ooh. And in reality, they kind of work their way up.
Welcome to the old school Winter Summit of 2022. The first ever Winter Summit. In fact, I'm your host, Mod IEs, and I'm joined by the absolutely wonderful Mod Kieran.
Hell yeah, welcome everybody.
How are you doing today, Kieran?
I'm fantastic. Really looking forward to this. Got some awesome stuff to show you later.
We really do. We have an absolutely amazing show in store for you all. So forget about the football. No one cares about that anymore. It's half time. We're probably going to lose anyway. So stick around because there is so much content that we have to reveal to you. In addition to content, we've also got some giveaways that we'll be doing that Mod Light has been arranging.
Giveaways?
You want again, LED neon style light.
Shit!
We've actually got 3 of them to give away in this stream today. So the longer that you watch, the more chance you have of winning.
Those are kind of fire.
On the screen right now.
Dude, I would totally take that cash one.
I have to excuse myself. I'm extremely excited, also very nervous, and I'm running on a few hours of sleep. I'm sure you're all aware of what happened earlier today. We'll just not worry about that for now. We'll have a good time. Enjoy the rest of the
I did turn it up. Should I turn it up more?
Get ready for some reveals.
It's honestly just the sound of them.
Man, there's just so many awesome things.
Let me just max it up.
And
it's going to be so loud, though.
I'm personally excited about the content. I know the players are going to be as well.
All right, it's max for me. Literally max.
Buzzing, to be honest. It's been a long time coming, and I know players have been really chomping at the bit.
I'm a little louder.
Find out a bit more about what we're planning as well. So
they really have been. They really have been. Should we bring up the first graphic that we have available for you? And it's just a little sneak peek of how we're going to be showing things today.
Dude, that's so cool.
Awesome. Secrets, secrets, secrets. Doesn't show you much just yet. But throughout tonight, obviously, we'll be populating this with some of the things that we're showing off. The creative team have really sort of done a fantastic job with everything tonight, to be honest. The set looks amazing. This graphic will look incredible once we'll get everything onto it as well. But we'll be showing you sort of a rough idea of when things are coming and so on. And the large focus of all of this is sort of the next 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, 6 to 8 months,
one thing to point out, so throughout this evening, there's going to be a variety of different blogs that will be going live. We'll let you know when they have gone live. There are 2 in particular that will go that will be dedicated.
That's so cool.
We'll let you know, so make sure you check out the webpage.
It's going to be a Wildy blog, boys! The Wildy blog!
Today's stream, we're going to be putting a blog that will summarize all of the content that you've seen. And you'll actually also notice that there will be poll questions within those blogs. So the reason we're doing that, if you're not aware already, is that we have changed the way that we poll content now. This was something that we implemented just a few months ago. So we want to get the green light on everything that we're going to be talking about so that we know that you want us to start working on it straight away. So fingers crossed, when you see the things that we're going to show you, you're going to be very happy with them. When the blog comes out, it details everything else that you might need to know at this point and everything that we're able to share with you at least. And those poll questions go live in game on the 20th of December. So not that long to wait at all. We also have a little something that we'll be opening outside of that in terms of the polls today, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on, because first of all, I think we should probably speak about that giveaway we mentioned, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think chat's already
I want that money one.
Clocked onto it, though.
Just a little bit.
I want the money one, dude. It looks so good.
Yeah, first of the giveaways. So we have, as Elisa mentioned, we have 3 of these LED neon-style lights to give away tonight.
So good.
The first one is of this max cash stack. So, well, what you need to do, as chat is already demonstrating, is type the keyword cash into the chat. And after a certain amount of time, later in the stream, we will reveal the winner and announce the next.
Feel free to go try that out, boys.
So yeah,
go give it a try if you want that.
Stream.
Don't type it in here. Don't work it here. Type it in there. Don't type it in here. Don't worry.
We'll announce the winner on stream, and then Mod Light will be in touch directly to get your contact details so we can get that.
I'm stoned. That's okay.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe you've heard enough of us for a little while at least. So how about we kick things off with a very familiar face as a nice little intro to the summit and what's to be expected.
Modash, 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 Modash.
2022 draws to a traditional Christmas event.
I told you.
Mod Halo's written us a wacky tale of seasonal shenanigans for his first project as designer.
Love the shirt.
Who needs elf ears when you can get elf beers? Santa's coming to town, and this year he's bringing the Nutcracker, an exclusive pub that only the most festive can enter. Can you help a beer-loving dwarf get their chance at the free bar? Can you satisfy the quality assurance gnome? You'll have to.
How is
prove
it
your
low
worth
volume?
for
It's so loud.
Christmas spirit. Of course, back in the real world, please drink responsibly. I recommend Earl Grey tea.
I'm gonna turn me all the way down. It is so loud for me, dude.
Well, Modash certainly does love his Earl Grey tea. What a lovely looking event it seems to be. Kieran, is there anything else that you can tell us that players might be able to expect from this year's Christmas event?
Well, it's an awesome event, lovely handcrafted by our brand new content developer. Rather than telling you more, what I will say is it will come out next week's game update, which I believe is on the Tuesday rather than the Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. It's coming up almost immediately.
Real quickly.
Okay, amazing. Well, we have...
I want to see what it sounds like before. Real quickly.
Okay, amazing.
Damn
well,
it.
We have...
Oh, that's fine. What the fuck, guys?
Woo!
Nice.
So the best content on offer can only be matched with the best value membership. And the good news is you can get that right now. Check out Premier Membership for our best value membership to date and snag yourself one hefty discount. A great gift to find under the tree this year, isn't it? So, speaking of trees, hey.
Oh shit, that's cool. Yo. Look at that donk on her. I mean what? Yo, it's so cool. Oh, that's sick. Oh, the dude's in full Aram's chopping it down, bro. Oh, it gets better. I'm in. I knew I was gonna be a woodcutter. I knew I was gonna be a woodcutter, dude. I'm in.
Oblivious to the subtle happenings in the forest.
That's fucking
Things
hot.
that someone skilled in the art of
I'm
forestry
down.
might pick up on. With Way the Forester, you'll encounter all sorts of weird and wonderful things as you explore and maintain the
I'm
beautiful
down, dude.
forest of Gillen. With this expansion, we're looking to bring a more social and dynamic experience to core woodcutting by removing resource competition, introducing exciting new events into the core tree chopping gameplay, and expanding the economy around woodcutting.
Dude,
These new
chopping with the
additions to our
boys.
trainer skill would not be an instance minigame or a boss. They can be experienced almost anywhere there are trees. To begin your forestry adventure, you'll receive training from the freaky forester himself. Once ready, he'll give you a forestry kit and send you out into the world to face whatever the forests have in store. While cutting trees,
Dude.
you'll have a chance to encounter a forestry event. These events are themed around taking care of the woodland, including chasing away fox poachers, controlling the pheasant population, rehoming bees, and even giving a tree ant a haircut. You'll also meet some of the more secretive inhabitants of the forests, such as dryads and leprechauns, and they may even have some special rewards in return for your help. Yes, the life of a forester is never dull. It's never lonely either. Forestry is better with friends, so finding where other foresters are and working together is key to being most effective and seeing all the forests have to offer. To aid this, we'd like rewards and XP to scale based on woodcutting level, so players of all experience levels can experience forestry together. To further this social aspect, we'd also like to address resource competition by changing how trees despawn so grouping is no longer punished, as well as giving bonuses such as improved XP or yield based on the number of people cutting the same tree. No longer will you despair when someone appears next to you while cutting trees. Alongside these events and social changes, we'd also like to introduce foresters' campfires. While chopping trees, players would be able to gather leaves specific to that tree alongside the usual logs. Each type of leaf has a different combination of properties that can be released by burning them on a normal campfire.
Like
Any
weed?
players that rest at these special campfires will receive temporary bonuses to their combat, production, and gathering skills based on the type of leaf. Foresters can further the effect by consuming a forester's ration while sitting at the fire. As well as being useful, we hope this will foster some social downtime in all sorts of content. Of course, foresters' campfires are not the only potential use for tree leaves. Another use we'd like to add is tea brewing. This would be a herblore-based activity that allows players to brew teas with different properties by freely combining multiple types of leaves, resulting in many potential tea effects. Foresters' campfires and tea brewing are a couple of ways forestry ties in with the wider game, but we'd like to do even better. We're keen to stimulate an economy around forestry, including meaningfully tying other skills into that ecosystem to allow all sorts of players to contribute to forestry, even without an axe in their hands. Forestry will require many different consumable items that can be carried in their forestry kits. These items could require new components obtained through forestry, as well as existing items obtained elsewhere, and would be crafted by different production and gathering skills. We'd like these components and crafted items to be tradable, so players can participate in the economy in ways that suit their playstyle, and since the items will be consumable, they'll always be in demand. To obtain these new components, we'd like to introduce a forestry currency that, along with logs of all tiers, can be used to purchase components and new, unique rewards. What unique rewards? Well, some ideas include an equipable log basket to expand your log carrying capacity, two-handed axes, a bee box for your house, new fashion items, and maybe an alternative way to obtain the lumberjack outfit.
Two-handed axes?
We're very excited about the social experience that Way of the Forester could bring to both woodcutting and the wider game, and we hope you are too. This expansion is in the early concept
Grads on
we'll
Tangleroot, dude. Hype that up. That's fucking sick.
In the meantime, be sure to let us know your thoughts and ideas for things you'd like to see in woodcutting.
I love that
Way of the
pet.
Forester.
I love that pet. All right, I'm sold, dude. Fuck PvP. I'm gonna become a woodcutter 2023, baby. Alicia Mad Cow coming in. Let's go. Already locked.
Amazing. I genuinely can't wait for this update. I think it has a huge potential to really improve the woodcutting skill and how it is.
All right, so
today.
this guy's
It's a
mod
long
squid.
changed, sort of
Okay,
unchanged
try to remember
skill, I
that.
guess.
Absolutely, and that cinematic was beautiful. Oh my.
Yeah, how wholesome. as
It
well.
was.
What wholesome vibes. So, joining us this evening to help answer your questions, the wonderful Mod Squid. Welcome to the stream. How are you?
Hello, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. Nervous, but this is really exciting. Yeah, really cool.
Brilliant. Awesome. Well, let's get straight into it. The first chat question I've got is cash.
Cash.
They seem to be liking spamming cash.
Something
You know what?
about cash.
Yeah, maybe we should just say it now.
Take the
by the
chat
way, for
down
everyone at home,
on the
you
chat.
only have to type cash once, and as long as you've typed it once, you'll be entered into the giveaway. So you don't need to keep spamming it, because we are looking to get questions from chat as well. So the more that you spam cash, the less chance that we're going to be able to get to actually pick up your questions. So
You can
this
never
is,
tell
I guess,
someone
the
not
one
to
reminder.
spam.
I'll remind you again
You know
a little
what I
bit
mean?
later on. If you do
Never
have any
goes well on
questions,
Twitch.
feel free to post them in the chat at OldSchoolRS. Get them over to us, and also if you want to use hashtag OSRS Summit on Twitter, we'll try and bring up some things on screen, just as shown now. That was pretty smooth. Good job,
Brilliant.
production. Go ahead, back to your questions.
Awesome. So question number one, other than the cash one. Squid, can you tell us what makes forestry different from the other recent skilling revamps we've done? What makes this so special when we compare it to Guardians of the Rift or Giant's Foundry?
Yeah, so there's a few main points really that differ it. The first is that it's part of the core woodcutting gameplay. It's not a mini game or an instance or anything like that. You don't have to go somewhere
That's
to
cool.
do it. It's
That's
not,
cool.
You know, tucked away somewhere. It is part of woodcutting. You'll experience these
Awesome.
events,
That's so sick.
while you're actually chopping trees. So it's going to make
So you
the
do this in
overworld,
Sears?
A bit richer. We bring a bit more life to it. And it's
I
gonna be
like
really
that.
natural in
It
how
doesn't
it's
separate
you could be
stuff. I
running
like
through the
that.
world
That's
and
what we
just
need
encounter
more.
someone,
We need more of
doing
that
forestry,
shit.
Maybe we jump in.
Yeah.
The
Too much
second
separation.
thing is that it's social and community driven by design. So you can do the events on your own, but it's better to do them with other people. You'll get a better experience. You'll reap more rewards. It's just a better time by doing it with other people. And to support that, we want to, as we mentioned in the video, change how trees despawn so that there's actually more benefit to you chopping the same tree with other people instead of it being a competition about who's going to get the resources.
Yeah, I've always hated having to hop.
I know. It's not a very social thing for an MMO to do that. And then the third thing is that forestry aims to be integrated into the wider game. So it's not just a closed loop in woodcutting. It's actually going to be integrated into the economy as a whole. So everything in forestry is tradable. Foresters will require items to interact with all the events and get the most benefit from
The
them.
update
And the most
woodcutters been
bonus
waiting
things
for their
craft
whole
those are
lives,
tradable.
bro.
They require different skills to actually craft them. So you might purchase the core components, put them on the Grand Exchange. Someone else will go, oh, I'm leveling my mining or smithing or something. This is in my level bracket. I'll buy that component. I'll combine it with some metal bars or whatever else it requires, craft the item, then sell it. So people are going to be interacting with forestry, the ecosystem, without actually directly doing the events as well. And the campfires as well. They give benefits to everyone, regardless of what kind of content you're doing. You're going to get benefits from those.
Brilliant. Awesome. Thanks for the thorough answer on it as well. What do you think the players will love most about forestry?
Yeah, I think it kind of depends what kind of player you are. Because as I said, there's something for everyone in there. If you're a woodcutter, obviously the events are going to bring a whole new aspect to woodcutting and a new dynamic, and that's going to be hopefully really interesting and exciting when those events happen and you're doing all those different things.
I like this.
But if you're
I
not
like
a
this a
woodcutter, then you can participate in that economy. You can level your skills. You can make some money probably from the different items that are being sold.
I wonder if this works into the resource area in the wild.
And even if you're not part
We have
of that,
like
you're doing fishing or
magic tree events.
They're going to give you benefits. You can imagine someone popping down a campfire that gives a gathering bonus, and then everyone gathering in that area is going to come around and sit at the campfire, maybe have a chat, have a nice bit of social downtime, we hope.
That's awesome. I do love the really strong community nature of everything that this update can potentially contain. So, with the new polling system in place, what kind of details are you particularly looking for when it comes to community consultation?
So I think it gives us a really good opportunity to get feedback really early in the process. It's a big update, there's a lot to it, and it touches a lot of aspects of the game. So I think it'd be really great to get...
You just evolved into a woodcutter?
Rather than just
Me too, dude.
a complete design document.
Who needs PvP?
So I think we could maybe start with saying, oh, here's the overall direction we want to go with the content, this is what we're thinking, and then drill deeper into...
Do they still got to pull this?
Like
Who's
event.
voting no to woodcutting with
Feedback all
homies?
the way through. It's a
They gotta
social
pull
event
this
after
shit?
all. We want to get players involved in that process.
Awesome. So some quick questions that are from the chat directly. Some of these you maybe don't...
So, just real quick, because I'm sure we'll listen to these, but when we had Mod Goblin on, he actually talked about bringing in group skilling and group like mid-game tier activity like Slayer and stuff. And now we're seeing that maybe he was foreshadowing this woodcutting, because he probably knew all along, right? So, honestly, this is a sick update. I'm excited to see group woodcutting. I like to go around all these RuneScape towns and just see people just chilling, bro. I really think we need that.
I want to do Forestry events.
Brilliant. Okay. Why did we decide woodcutting needs a change instead of other skills?
I mean, I think we can all agree there are other skills that need
Why not?
changes as well, but woodcutting has a very dull core loop and not a lot of other things around it like other skills we've done. I mean, we've done things, rune crafting, we've done smithing, we've done some fishing stuff, so it was about time woodcutting got something a bit more interesting.
Brilliant.
What about fletching?
One final question is, why does Mod Squad...
What about the Fletchers?
I was born to make this content,
Yeah.
Did you look like a fisherman with temporos? I don't recall.
I go through the stages.
No, but I guess
I can see him as a fisherman.
Right? This, squid and
That's right,
temporos. So I wonder what you'll be working on next.
Who knows?
We'll see. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mod Squid. It's been an absolute pleasure. But I think it's about time that we went on to the next reveal, and this one I'm actually quite excited.
Dude, they're
about.
just going back to back to back.
it?
They got this set up, bro. They got the background, they got the animations.
Accounts such as skilling pures, 10 HP pures, or 1 defense pures have been part of the
Wait.
RuneScape community
Was
for a
this?
long time now. So, we'd like to propose an update to add official support for these game modes. Both new players and existing accounts that have already made a unique build can opt into the game mode, assuming they still meet the requirements. Accounts of any type will be allowed to add restrictions, whether you're a regular account, Iron Man, Hardcore Iron Man, Ultimate Iron Man, or even a Group Iron Man. Initially, we'll offer restrictions based on combat skills, but the system could be expanded to include further rule sets later. For now, we wanted to start with official 10 HP pures and skilling pures. So how will it work?
What the fuck?
A restricted account will work exactly like a standard account. However, they cannot gain from content they have restricted themselves from. Players will
This
be able
is
to opt
sick.
in and opt out of the restrictions at any time, as long as their account still meets the requirement. So, for example, if your account still has only 10 hit points skill total, you will be able to opt into the 10 HP pure restriction. Once opted into a skill-based restriction, the player will no longer receive XP in those skills.
That's what I thought it
Being a
was. That's
skiller
so
pure
cool.
could gain
That's
access
so
to
cool.
Mauritania and try their hand at the content there with no combat
Oh,
skills.
bro.
Good luck with that.
That's so
However,
sick.
to preserve some of the more unique builds, specifically PvP builds, the XP the player would have received is still recorded and will be awarded should they ever opt out in the future. So this will still disallow accounts such as 20 Strength and Defense who have finished Waterfall Quest, for example. And for those true purists among you, this same recorded XP can be used to identify those who have never broken their restrictions and have never gained that XP at all. By adding official support for restricted accounts,
Very
we will
cool,
be able
very
to remove
cool.
access limitations and allow players to show their commitment to their game mode with new chat
Big.
icons, outfits, and a high score table.
Big, dude. So if you don't know what that was, You're going to be able to opt in
well,
to not getting experience and stuff you don't want to get experience in.
Over 8 years ago now.
It's hard to talk. They're just back to back to back to back. They're just fucking
restricted game modes becoming an official thing
big.
within old school. As you heard there from Mod Dylan, the potential to opt into it as well means that you don't have to worry about creating a new account. If your existing account meets the requirements, you'd be able to jump straight
you can use
in
whips.
and
You can use weapons. You
this
can restrict XP.
Not temporary,
yeah.
but alternate way of playing old school. Something that I would just like to clarify, Mod Dylan's not here to answer any questions, so we'll do our best to be able to get through them, but I saw quite a bit of
buy all the
confusion
whips!
In the chat, especially when it came round to how you could benefit from experience gains within this this new official account builds. So essentially,
Pierce can use D maces now.
You got yourself in as a 10 HP account, and you can't get any combat skills. You are literally just a skiller pure. You can still go out and complete quests as if you were a main account, but you won't get the experience from those quests. However, the clarification I want to make is that that experience is stored against your account, but it's just not granted until you were then choosing to opt out of official account builds. So if you wanted to make the most overpowered 10 HP account in the game and complete all of the quests, maybe even get a quest cape with 10 HP, that would be possible with this mode.
That's crazy.
So if you then wanted to opt out of it in the future and become a main because you've got bored of that type of game mode or gameplay playstyle, you can choose to do so and go straight back into just playing as a normal account with all of that XP given to you. Similarly, with a one defense account, if you want to make a really strong account for PvP, you'd be able to do that as well and go out and do all of the quests that you can't do at the moment, get access to things like fairy rings and Mauritania as mentioned as well. So another question on here, maybe you can help me out with this one, Kieran. You know what? I've just realised I've just literally covered the question that I was going to ask. So I was going to say, can you opt into it if you meet the requirements? But you can. So I had a little bit of a brain lag there.
What I will say on that is, I really personally with this wanted to recognise the communities that already exist out there in the player base. You know, just like with Iron Man, as you mentioned, like 8 years ago, there were a handful of people trying out self-restricting themselves to no trading and stuff like that. So I think there's long been a history of skiller accounts in RuneScape. Even back to 2007, people were trying out this kind of thing. I think it's awesome to be able to give those people an official status and official high scores, that kind of support, because then
you guys gonna have high scores
with others in the same category as you.
10 HP, so certain restricted accounts get high scores. Oh shit!
You will have options.
It's gonna get wild, bro. You know, people go crazy for high scores, dude.
More personalized ways as well.
Yeah, same with like any type of account that you'd really
Send
want.
some tweets, bro. I got
depends
you.
on what we put in there in terms of restrictions. I've seen a few people ask about things like 45 defense.
What we got here?
That's not something that we'd be looking to officially recognise to begin with. But if it turned out to be a really popular request, then we could add it into the system. It's been built so it's modular, very flexible. We'll be able to expand it. For me, really, what this is about, especially working in community management, is just really showing what having a community-driven game looks like. It's giving power to the players and letting people choose the way that they want to play and officially recognising it so that we can really just push the boundaries and explore ways that Gillinor's not really been explored before, because there are so many pieces of content out there in the game that restricted accounts can't take advantage of because it would give them benefits that would otherwise be not possible. So who knows? It's all got to go through typical polling and community consultation. So we're really going to want to work with you guys to figure out how exactly this ends up shaping. But I guess from what we've known or seen so far, Kieran, what are you most excited about when it comes to official account builds?
To be honest, it's as I say, like recognizing those communities, working with those communities. I know Dylan has personally been reaching out to people that already play the game in many restricted ways to get that sort of feedback built into some of the early thinking with the design here.
Yep.
But that consultation will continue, of course. And I see some of the chat questions coming in. There's a few like, does this affect Soul Wars? Can we see stored XP somewhere? Will players be able to do quests without requirements? Because obviously if you are restricted to like one defense, can you do a quest that actually requires a defense?
That's what I was thinking. Like, what happens if you...
I don't know if
you don't have defense and you're locked.
A decision on yet, and that is what the next stages will look like. I'll be talking.
It seems like they're in the idea of resending some defense requirements for this on Quest.
Following content as well is bringing the community right at the start. So before we've even got to the point
crazy.
Of ready to ship, we can find out exactly how it is that you want to shape the content out. For me personally, I'm really just excited to see how strong people can make their accounts and how far people can progress in an official capacity going forward. And Also, being able to support those players in a way that we've not been able to in the past, because there has always been that question of should we or should we not allow this to happen for those type of account builds. But with how we've approached things like restricted polling for Iron Men, Ultimate Iron Men, Hardcore Iron Men, we could now look at doing restricted polling for specific other official account builds based on what's available in the system. But I think that's probably about as much as we can cover at the moment for official account builds. Super excited.
I had to do hashtag OSRS Summit. I fucked it.
So please do make sure that you let us know. As I've mentioned at the start, we will be putting a blog out at the end of the stream that covers all of the detail that we've gone over, and it will have feedback in there for you to let us know what you think. Obviously, over the next few weeks, we're not going to be doing anything Christmassy. We're not going to be spending time with family. We're going to be checking all your feedback because that's what we love doing here. So please give it to us. But on that note, I think it's probably about time that we give something away because I see a lot of people spamming cash in the chat.
Go on then, let's do it.
Well, maybe before we should remind people.
What's the hashtag? Does anyone remember? I already forgot the hashtag for the Twitter. I think you gotta do. Is it hashtag Winter Summit or is it hashtag OSRS Summit? I think hashtag Winter Summit maybe. I already forgot the hashtag. Maybe it's on the Old School RuneScape page. Let me see.
These pieces of content, pieces of update is what I was gonna say. I think Forestry, as I said,
right here.
Real good chance to update a skill that's kind of long been untouched.
Cam did it.
It's one of those iconic
OSRS Summit. Okay, gotcha.
But it sucks that you have to find your own world and do it by yourself.
I mean, the best thing about woodcutting is getting to the level required to cut redwoods, to be honest.
Yeah,
you can't.
Like, once I'm there, I'm like, fine, this skill's good now.
Yeah, absolutely. But you remember back in the day, we were all noobs. We didn't know, we were none the wiser. We'd stand there, we would type WC levels in chat.
Did anyone think it would be Forestry, by the way? Anyone think that we would be getting a woodcutting rework, bro? I'm not going to lie, that caught me by storm. I really like the idea of group skilling. Honestly, it feels like it's weird that it doesn't exist already as a game like this that's literally community built. And then we got official account builds, right? So you can do any account you want. You could restrict it. You could use whatever on the account. Real quick, just gonna record this. Got one more D-long to Alk, and we made 3.3 mil. Nice little extra side cash, dude. Not bad at all. All right, back to it real quick.
And any moment now, Mousekill. Congratulations, Mousekill, on winning the cash LED light. Now,
all right, they're just talking about stuff. But yeah, so pretty much you're going to be able to lock. You can use any weapon you want on any account. I don't know, like I guess everyone's talking about like the whip. You're going to be able to use whips on peers now, just if you want. You could do Heroes Quest and maybe get like a Dragon Mace because you can do Dragon Slayer now. No, and you won't get the defense experience, right? Yo, this is sick.
Chat all in caps. So good luck to everyone entering. Make sure that you put it into the chat, HCIM, but only type it once, okay? And remember, if you misbehave today, we can mute you, and you won't be able to get into the giveaways. So,
oh well.
I like to finally have some power over the Twitch chat.
Well, with that said, I think it's time for a little plug. With the Forestry update, with skilling accounts, what's the best way to train these kind of things? It's on the go. It's on your mobile phone.
Ah, smooth. I like it.
So, obviously, Old School is available on Android and iOS. Been over 4 years now. That is crazy. It feels like it flew by. But I think it's really worth highlighting mobile right now because we've added a whole range of features to mobile over the past year that are really upping that experience on that client. A lot of the features you might recognize from RuneLite, being able to actually have them on your phone now, obviously incredible.
It's true.
And obviously there'll be more to come as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're not stopping there.
You can we've got a whole bunch of... So you can't long range yet. I don't know if this has to be pulled on or it's coming into the game. It seems like it's probably just coming into the game. But make sure, though, before you start training long range, dude, that you wait for the update to hit the game, and then you go and you do whatever you need to lock that in, right? But after you lock it in, you're fine. You're fine, bro. It'd be like the RuneLite plugin where you can just cancel defense, except you won't get defense no matter what.
Old School RuneScape, starting with the publishing platform. Back in March, ModCorps and I discussed the roadmap. Thank you for trying out the launcher. Over 100,000 players have given it a go. And with the addition of easy account switching between multiple RuneScape accounts, it is now the best way to play. whether you're using RuneLite or our own client. Early in the new year, we are releasing 2 exciting features. First, the Jagex launcher will support our enhanced client. This means that from our launcher,
I think there's a defense level requirement now on gloves.
Features that are available to those that play on Steam and on mobile. And we are excited to finally bring you enhanced account security via Jagex accounts. Now, we want everyone using Jagex accounts as soon as possible. Yet, given the extreme importance of account security, we have adopted a carefully staged release plan. Our team here is already using them, and the next step in the new year will be an invite-only release to PMods and select influencers. And then by March,
can I be a select influencer?
To everyone. You may have read our technical blog post. Jagex accounts are built on a modern and secure technology stack. They offer passwords, MFA with
I was trying to frown, but it just shows my eyes.
Authentication via email notification on successful login and when account settings change, and a robust means to stop brute force account takeover, and increased protection from bots. In addition to being secure, via the launcher from the get-go, accounts also
stronger passwords, MFA recovery code.
So playing new game modes will be as simple as pressing a button. It's going to be an exciting year. There's more to come. For example, later in the year, we'll be extending convenient multi-character play to our players on mobile and on Steam. We intend to overhaul some aspects of our account recovery process. We'll keep you posted in the new year. The publishing platform team thanks you for your support. Now, let's hear a little bit more about Old School's upcoming client features.
Over the coming year, Old School's game clients have a lot of exciting features coming their way.
Are they updating their own client?
On Android and iOS, Steam, and as you've just heard, the Jagex launcher. There's a lot that
so Micro, welcome, bro.
Future, but I'd like to take a little time to focus on a couple of things coming particularly soon. To kick us off, we've been talking about a rework to the mobile interface for some time, and we have a blog live now
what's up, boys?
to give you some more insight as to just how that's been coming along. This new interface will offer us much more flexibility in bringing features to mobile, really making use of the new tech available in the client and offering more in the interface space that's available to us.
This is exactly what you want to see for a game you main, by the way.
What we've been calling
just saying.
Tools. These have been some of the most highly requested features for our new client and will be coming soon to both Steam and mobile. Among a few more minor features, there are 2 big hitters here. First up are ground item overlays. The ability to see what items are on the ground listed in a customizable
on
format
mobile,
where you can set your own thresholds for what items to show and highlight, as well as which items you want to draw special attention to or ignore entirely. The second is loot tracking, an interface made
nice. Okay. Yeah, Carlos. So they added a wood forestry, so you're gonna have group skilling for woodcutting, bunch of mechanics there, and then a big thing is they just added account locking, so you can lock your account build. So if you have a build that you like and you want to go do quests, you won't get the experience if you lock it. So you could use a whip, you can go do Dragon Slayer, you're fine. Maybe they're even saying maybe a quest cape on a pure, depending if they do defense requirements. So and also account security, which I didn't see too much of that, but it looks good. I gotta go deeper in that account security. I want to see really what they're doing with that.
And recently, we've been laser focused on improving the performance of game worlds, which is something we know has been an issue for you lately. To dive deeper into the challenges we face with game world performance, we need to briefly explain a game tick. Every 600 milliseconds, the server reads inputs.
He can, yeah. This is a good Olive update.
World, such as moving NPCs and running combat scripts, and then sends the new state of the world back to every player's gameplay before then waiting for the next tick. Ideally, the time this all takes is short and consistent. If it's too long, then your inputs feel delayed and you have less time to react to things. And if it's inconsistent, then the rhythm of the game feels off and precise gameplay becomes difficult. Tick time suffered noticeably when Tombs of the Massacre launched. The raid features some pretty complex scripts and requires precise gameplay, and with the launch rush seeing hundreds of players per world raiding simultaneously, a performance impact was felt.
Also, chat, they said they're going to be dropping 2 new blogs during the Winter Summit. So I think what I'll do is I'll give more of my commentary during the blogs, and we'll just listen usually during this, because I want to really, hopefully they go over that account security. I want to see what they're doing. They said it was like Jagex accounts or something. I don't know. So there's some things I want to get deeper in, but we're just going to watch it as it goes and wait for these blogs.
And you might have already noticed a big improvement if you happen to play on them. We've been steadily rolling out this hardware
Micro,
over the past several weeks.
It's easy to hate, it's harder to love, bro.
As soon as possible.
Learn that for life.
In the efforts of several teams here, we're looking at tick time being more than halved over the coming months. And then you'll need to find another excuse for your bad clicks. Jokes aside, we hope you've enjoyed this deeper dive.
Tick time halved. What's that even mean? Whoa, what is this? All right, actually now we can talk. Finally, we can talk a little bit, dude. Okay, so give me a 5-minute break. So yeah, they covered new woodcutting, boys. New woodcutting, forestry. They're going to have a bunch of new items that are going to be tradable for forestry, and it's going to be everywhere in the game. So if you're walking in Draenor, you can see all the bots working together. It's honestly a really cool update, though. I do think that, that the bots are going to be having a field day with this one, but I'm super excited for forestry. I just asked, I wonder if it affects the resource area, so maybe my tweet will pop up. I have no idea. But, yeah, dude, maybe we could have, like, a resource area masses deep while we could all hit the same age tree. I don't know how it's going to work. They're going to have tea brewing. There's going to be, like, benefits and bonuses for things you burn. There's going to be a bunch of new items coming from woodcutting, and apparently it's going to incorporate its ecosystem and other skills. So getting that in itself is huge, dude. That in itself is huge. Not to mention, Pures now have Pures have been shit on since Bounty Hunter was taken out. This is the day of Pures, bro. If you have a Bounty Hunter build, you have an account you want to build, this is going to be the perfect time to get back into it. You're going to be able to lock your experience, do any quest you want, explore any continent you want, and when you PK, you can use any weapon you want. Only when this update hits, and of course, you lock your shit. And then for the account security, it looks like they're doing a lot of good things. I just wish I got a better grasp of it. I didn't see everything. So when they come out with a blog, and if they go deeper on that, we'll go over it again. Because everyone has been wanting account security upgrades for ever, right? So I did hear a couple words saying as it would be helpful for people trying to brute force your accounts, meaning they just constantly try to guess your password or just log in multiple times. So they're going to have that protection there. They're going to have a code. There's going to be some shit, man. And apparently once you've done that, everything's going to be super simple. You're going to be able to have multiple accounts on one account, I think, or multiple account play. We'll have to see what's honestly happening there. Should be stocking up on anything for Forestry update. Let me log on my main real quick. It's a fucking great idea. I'm about to buy all the dragon axes. Fuck off. Hey, these are mine. Nah. I'm about to dump like 80 mil. Hey. 1 sec, real quick. That's a good idea. Give me a sec. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm a gambler. Not financial advice. Just gonna go ahead and buy as many as I can. Yeah. Uh-oh. How much are dragon axes now? Alright. I got an offer in for about 800 dragon axes. They've already went up though. How many did I just buy? 40? Okay. I'll put that in the merch tab. That'll be a fun little merch. See if that comes into fruition at all. I think I hit my limit already. Alright, all I got then. Dude, bro, I should have bought them right when they said something. I wasn't even thinking about it, dude. Of course dragon axes are gonna go up. Oh my god. You know how much I could have made, bro? Dude, I wasn't even thinking about that shit. Oh, man. Bunch of whips for the rework? Yeah, that'll probably work out. Yeah, Pures might be able to get the quest cape. They're thinking about taking some of the defense requirements away from questing. Of course, they just were saying that. I don't know. All right, 4 seconds is coming back on. D-Mace. Those are sold from shops. I don't know how hard they can go up, though. But yeah, they're going to be able to use them.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you enjoyed that.
Don't buy D-Maces. Don't buy
the
fucking
community's greatest content whilst we were on a break there. And if you did miss it, then be sure to make sure that you check out the blog that is now live, covering everything in regards to the mobile top-level interface rework that we'll be looking to put out very soon. And if you want to get a link to that blog, !mobile UI in the chat will take you right there.
Oh, we could check that out. I was hoping to be account
ready for this next
security.
Because I know that is something that so many of you have
I can explain it to you in a bit, Vroom.
So many of you have been tweeting about.
And they're not reworking whips.
Reddit, sliding into my DMs about. So,
what do we got?
The return of something so spectacular is
Bounty
finally
Hunter?
here.
Bounty Hunter?
But it would be
Bounty
wrong of
Hunter?
me to introduce it because
Bounty
I think
Hunter?
this one is more for you, Kieran.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think even I can do this one alone without the
Bounty
help
Hunter?
of an old friend.
Bounty Hunter? Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter. It's Bounty Hunter. Damn, bro! Archie looking good, by the way.
Jesus. Hey, Chris. Hey.
Yeah, I'd be startled too, honestly.
Great news. What is it, Kieran? Remember Bounty Hunter? Yeah.
Bounty Hunter!
Back! Is it?
Bounty Hunter.
I love Bounty Hunter.
Bounty Hunter.
Well, I think you're the
Bounty Hunter.
perfect person for our hype trailer. Remember all those Bounty Hunter videos you used to make?
Bounty Hunter.
Chris, and welcome to my very first ever Bounty Hunter video. It is packed. Look at this. It's absolutely awesome.
Oh, God. No, Kieran. I'm a changed man. I don't do that kind of thing anymore. Bounty Hunter is back. Better than...
Than ever, Archie. Better than ever.
Bounty Hunter is back and better than ever.
Go on then. Oh my god.
The host of new and exciting rewards exclusive to Bounty Hunter.
And he said for tier 7.
Allowing us to experiment more than ever before.
Yes! Challenge completed, baby!
Spring. Win spring. Win spring. Win spring.
Hey, Chris. I've got some great news. Hey, Chris.
Hey,
I've got
Kieran.
some great news.
Oops.
I've got some great
6 months? I'm down. I'm down. 6 months? I'm down with that. Hello.
Honestly,
Okay.
I'd be fine leaving it there, but I have 5 minutes to fill, so here we go anyway. Yes, Bounty Hunter will be making its bloody return in 2023. For the uninitiated, Bounty Hunter is a high-risk PvP minigame set in the wilderness with a simple premise. We give you another
I wonder what's going to be changed.
Hunt them. With a rapid flow of targets, Bounty Hunter ensured that you had constant fights happening all the time with players at a similar combat level to you, meaning it was an excellent onboarding point for players into PvP. Obviously, this is an old school's first rodeo with Bounty Hunter after the previous ones were removed for, reasons. The question is, what's different this time? And the answer is the return of the craters. Locking the participants into a cavern within the heart of the wilderness ensures that anyone who wants to step into the ring can get a fair fight with someone who is also there for a scrap and not just hiding by the ditch desperately trying to snipe someone. This is Bounty Hunter, not Bounty Hider. Access to the craters will be restricted by combat level, and the targeting system will aim to match you based on a tighter combat band, so you're more likely to find yourself a fair fight. Also, we're old school RuneScape. Naturally, we have to deal with the nostalgia factor for every available opportunity, so what better way to do that than to bring back 2007? Except this time, maybe we actually keep Wilderness PvP. Or maybe we don't. Who knows? Speaking of combat brackets,
Don't joke like
while
that.
a PvP arena and last man standing provide a reasonable
hurts my
entry
heart.
point into full gear, full on, no honor PvP combat, we don't currently have a good access point for getting your own account and your own gear into PvP. And we currently don't cater to anything other than the mechanically demanding tri-breed setups favoured in these minigames. We'd like Bounty Hunter to be that onboarding point, to be that place to take your freshly trained Pure in for its first taste of real combat. And to make sure that Pure stays pure and doesn't, say, try to cast Fire Surge in defensive mode just after the Grand Exchange on a PvP world, we'll be blocking combat XP gain while in Bounty Hunter. But I know what you're all thinking at this point. What about the rewards.
That's some good shit.
As you can imagine, the main space is the potential for more profit-minded individuals to game the system for their own gains rather than the enjoyment of the game itself. While we aren't ruling out any form of monetary gain from the rewards at this stage, we can say the majority of rewards from this iteration of Bounty Hunter will be untradeable rewards. For example, you'll be able to dust off your hats and gain upgraded variants of them as you cut down your foes as either a rogue or a hunter. For the more practical gear, we'll be bringing back the mysterious emblems. These
what the fuck? They're coming back?
Upgrade as you stay in the creator collecting bounties. Whoa. These emblems can be cashed out at any point for Bounty Hunter points, which can be exchanged for goods and services. And with this currency only obtainable from within Bounty Hunter, it makes sense that we can give you goods that can only be used within Bounty Hunter. So, what kind of goods, you ask? Well, back in 2008, which
how's the VLS going to play into this?
At this point, RuneScape introduced corrupted ancient warrior equipment, powerful gear obtained and primarily used in the then new.
Oh no!
We'd like to introduce as degradable tier 20 gear with stats that punch well above their weight. This would include the corrupt armor and weapons from 2008's PvP World Drop Table. These aren't the only rewards we have planned, and this is still very early in design, so we'd love to get your thoughts and feedback, though. This time, if you could do it without calling me ugly on Twitter, that would be greatly appreciated.
Nah, you're gonna get caught. You can't.
Now back to me in the studio.
You can't ask, then it happens. That's the beauty of Twitter, you know.
Well, so, you heard it right, folks. That is it. Bounty Hunter finally making its return back to old school. I am so hyped. If you're hyped, can I please see a pog in the chat? That would be absolutely fantastic. Now, we are joined by the wonderful Mods Kirby and Mods Goblin to help us out answer your questions. We've got a
Goblin's beard is just massive, dude.
How are you both doing? How was that, seeing the reaction from chat and also the video going up for both of you?
I'm anxious. I'm nervous. Obviously, we've got all of the community consultation stuff. There's going to be a lot to talk about with Bounty Hunter. So many questions to answer over the next few days, but I am gassed. I'm very excited.
Sure. How about yourself, Kirby?
I'm absolutely terrified.
Well,
what's the worst that can happen, though?
You know what? At least we're feeling the exact same right now, so that's all good. What's your favourite moment of the summit been so far?
The part where I threw a bit of paper on the ground. I wrote that joke in at the start of the script because I couldn't think of anything else to write. And then it just stuck, and I'm just happy.
I think it worked great. So, and yourself, Goblin?
Okay. It's starting.
Okay.
It's been an anxious day with everything from earlier as well. So it's this starting and going okay so far.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
It's been good. And also the chat just spamming cash so that I couldn't see anything that anyone was actually saying.
Yeah,
I thought that was fantastic.
Thank you for the few questions that you did at least manage to get. So, talking of questions, let's get into a couple here. So, one thing that I want to cover off first of all, at least, is the fact that we mentioned creators, right? And I'm sure there are many hardcore PvP advocates that remember creators from back in the past. Can we talk a little bit more about what those are exactly and what players can expect from creators?
Are they going to have the looting mechanics?
What purpose will they
the looting
serve?
mechanics are ridiculous.
I
hope not.
Like the creators from way back when.
You want to take it?
Or? Given I wasn't really massively into PvP way back then, unfortunately I can't really say for certain, but the creators are convenient because it's just a good box that we can put players in.
Sure.
Leave them there. And once they're in a box, we can apply whatever rules that we feel is appropriate to them. We want to match them on combat level, we can do that really easy because they're all in a box.
Sure.
So putting them in a creator just gives us a lot of options to work with and just hit
Schrodinger's PK
for some people, so it always feels nice.
For sure. I think when I was looking through the design and helping out with it as well, I think one of the main draws for it from my side was that it really allows for that full opt-in experience. You know, you can't enter Bounty Hunter and get attacked by another player unless you've literally put yourself into Bounty Hunter. And then there are some really cool and quirky things we can do. Like you said, unique rules. We can make rewards that can only be used in Bounty Hunter, so we can really push the boundaries of what kind of things come into a PvP environment, because they won't impact the rest of the wilderness. So those people who might be going out and, you know, on their adventures, doing a bit of PVM or a bit of skilling within the wilderness for that extra risk reward, don't have to worry about someone zooming up in level 20 PvP armors and absolutely decimating them. And then lastly, we can lock people into the creators if we want as well. So you might not, want to take extra risk, you want to get extra reward, you've got to stay in there for a certain amount of time or get a certain amount of kills. I think it really just opens up a lot of potential.
Like one of the things you hit on there, which you're probably going to have to come back to at some point anyway, is the fact that we are putting you in this magic box specifically for Bounty Hunter.
Sure.
We can do some very silly things with the rewards if we want to, because it's only going to affect this one section of the game. we don't need to worry too much about the rest of it and how it's going to affect, I don't know, Tombs of Amascut or the rest of the wilderness.
I'm a little scared, man.
No, exactly. It's going to be really interesting when it gets to that.
He's going to put me in a box.
Phase, in terms of like what it is that the players actually want us to put in there, because it literally will be open to almost anything that you're happy with and that we're obviously comfortable developing. So the next question I've got here is, it's a big one really, and it's how do we plan to combat the issues that existed in previous iterations of Bounty Hunter? Because obviously it's no.
What I want to know, dude, is back in Bounty Hunter, if you looted something and it wasn't your target, you had a penalty. And anytime you picked up an item, you had to stay no matter what. It might have even locked your protect item off too. Is that coming back? Because they did that for RWT. That was the only reason that existed. So I'm kind of scared that may change. I hope that doesn't come back. I like the idea. I like the premise. I don't want that to come back though.
Tank for a little bit after you upgrade an emblem, or if you go rogue, if we wanted to experiment with a system like that. And then obviously, like we mentioned in the trailer, even though we're not dead set on rewards, because that's exactly what the kind of community consultation phase is for, having an untradables reward track so that it still feels like worth your time. If you're engaging in good faith and you just want to fight people and like get better in PvP, and you enjoy that kind of like edge style fast fights as opposed to Outlast, you still can do that and get something worth your time. But we probably would be keen to stay away from like high levels of GP generation, because even though other content might suffer from some of those same issues, you don't want to see this get full up of people that are ruining it for you, right? So
for sure, I guess really you want to be going up against people that want to be there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, you mentioned Edgeville there actually. What about those who did prefer like edge style PKing back in the day? Will this new version of Bounty Hunter still be able to accommodate them? And also, how will players get to these craters? Do we know that yet?
No. Okay, you haven't thought that far ahead. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
There's options. We could whack like an island offshore. We could whack it beneath Ferox. We could have an NPC whack you over the head and take.
I think Ferox would be good. Near Ferox.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. There's stuff that we could do, but again, that's the whole point, right? We've got time. We've got a whole new polling system. We've got a community of people who are super passionate about PvP, who love Bounty Hunter, who are going to have thoughts about Bounty Hunter, and yeah, that's what it all comes down to, right? Like we'll decide with the players, and then we'll figure it out.
Awesome. Sounds really, really good. I'm genuinely so excited. So I've got a few questions on here. First of all, this is from chat, by the way. So if you do have questions in chat at OldSchoolRS, let us know. We'll try and get as much as we can answered. Can Iron Men get into this kind of content?
Yes. Next question.
Awesome.
The fuck?
Like, that's the advantage of
I guess they can upgrade emblems.
Like, yeah, we could just give them to Iron Man.
So what about rewards going into the collection log? Will they or won't they?
I would default to yes. This is consideration we've already had on some level, and that yes, we probably have to add stuff to the collection log just because other PvP minigames have traditionally gone in the collection log. We can probably set it up, be clever about it in such a way that players that aren't massively involved in PvP don't have to commit too hard to PvP to fill out the collection log to get there. So one of the things we were considering,
make them commit, bro.
An item that was like fairly easy to get, but the more you progress through Bounty Hunter, would be able to upgrade over time, but that would still only commit to one collection log slot. So people who just care about slotting in easy, players that actually go the extra mile can get those up.
Yeah, fresh meat. Make them commit.
Still early phases, but like, yeah, some discussions. We talked about maybe like a pet that was easy to get, like a floating skull.
A bounty hunter pet? It's just a dude talking shit behind you the whole time.
Styled skull or like a flaming,
Yeah.
There's stuff that we could do, but again, community consultation.
I gotta get it. It's mine, bro.
Sounds like a really healthy.
I'm getting it.
To be honest.
Yeah. And
Road to
One
pet.
of the main key points to take away from here is that we've obviously considered it, right? And we're aware of the fact that there are people out there who might want to complete the collection log slots.
Collection
the collection slog. I mean, for some it can be, right?
That's a fair few hours, man.
But at the same time, we do want it to be also rewarding for those who want to be there. So
this is the next 6 to 8 months roadmap.
Will there be dedicated worlds for Bounty Hunter, do you think?
Hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I mean, we used to have 318, 319.
We already have dedicated,
yeah. You could do other stuff with it. But yeah, I'd imagine so. Okay. Just to make sure that we condense people, right? You want it to be active and not really spread out. So.
Yeah, for sure. Fantastic. Well, it sounds really exciting to me. I can't wait. I love the idea of bringing back the PvP armors, and especially them being at 20 defense. I know they were super popular back in the day, and that's literally, as you've said, both now it's just the start, right? There are so many more reward opportunities and ideas that we can put forward as you guys just let us know. But I think
Bounty Hunter
that's about all we've got time
Creators!
for in regards to Bounty Hunter right now. So I do unfortunately have to say that it has been an absolute pleasure, but we'll have to be seeing you shortly. Stick around for a moment though, because I think
awkwardly sit here.
Yeah,
while
like
we go for the next
you
segment.
said goodbye when I knew full well we'd be sitting here for another segment.
Man's gonna follow the show flow, okay? You know, right? And Kieran, to you now. You can talk about that next bit.
So, light giveaway. You've all been spamming HCIM in the chat. This is a reminder for that. We will be rolling the winner very shortly, so this is your final reminder. Type HCIM in the chat now for a chance to win. I guess I'll go back to you for this one.
Sure thing, I'll go for it. Okay, so there is another thing that we'd like to announce, not necessarily new content, but something we're aware of that typically happens every single year, and we have not spoke about it as of yet. However, that is changing. We're speaking about it right now. We'd like to officially announce that the Golden Gnomes will be coming back. They are going to be celebrating this year's community achievements. However, we're not going to be ready for them until early next year. So sometime in January, we're going to be opening up voting for nominations. As you can probably tell, we've been quite a little bit busy. So unfortunately, it's one of those things that we've...
They're doing everything, bro.
Let go for a little bit, but we are committed. They are going to...
No, I didn't get my money back.
January, very early on, we're going to be opening up nominations. You'll be able to vote on all of your favourite creators from across the entirety of the community. So we can't wait to showcase to you just how great of a community it is that we have. Now, I believe that we've got a winner for the Hardcore Iron Man Light, and that is Dark Lord Cecil. So congratulations. Woo! We've got people to actually clap here now. That's great.
But yeah, dude, Bounty Hunter is coming back as a creator, meaning that it's not only going to be just 1v1 venge fights, but mainly everything goes. It kind of takes the whole Deep Wilderness concept and it adds it into Bounty Hunter more so than the old one does. So I want to know everything about it. I hope they have another blog coming out. They said there's 2 coming out. I'd assume 1 is going to be wilderness related, but we have no idea. I'm pumped, dude. Dude, it's going to be sick. Because I'm going to be breeding in that area, bro. I just want to know what the rules are. Like, if you go rogue, do you have to wait? Right? Or, like, I hope not. I hope if you wait, it's more like there's a reward higher benefit for you or something. I don't know. I just hope that... Because the only reason those mechanics exist in Old Bounty Hunter was because of RWT. And that's what killed the game. Because they tried to keep fixing it and they never got a solution. So, what is this? Oh, another animation, dude! No way! I don't pause it. I muted it, man.
For the security of the Empire, for the safety of our people, sheltered by our Lord's trusted.
The wilderness. There's a wilderness. There's a wilderness.
Is protected.
I think there's a wilderness.
We pray that our
Maybe?
secrets will be kept, that no dark, forgotten vault will relinquish our Lord's greatest treasures.
It's sick.
By shadow, the Empire shall persist.
We pray that justice will be dealt.
What is
and
this?
malefactors hunted from realm to realm. May our Lord's judgment never rest. By blood, the Empire will know peace.
We pray that our enemies shall be vanquished, that they shall cower in fear. From the highest mountain to the deepest sea, by smoke, the Empire will be victorious.
Ho, ho, ho. What the fuck were those animations? I have no idea what they needed 20 months. What's up, Korea? How you doing, bro?
Truth will be revealed once more.
What? What the fuck, dude? Huh? I didn't see that coming at all, bro.
Caridian Desert holds many.
Ooh.
From vengeful demigods to warring rivals.
The scepter play.
To forgotten spells. But there is one
I'm gonna be rich.
final secret hidden beneath those sands.
Bro,
One
so
that can
confused.
change
That's crazy.
Everything. History has forgotten this secret, for history is written by the victor. The time has come
to uncover the truth. It's been 17 years since the release of the iconic Desert Treasure, and now, at long last, the Marjarat are back in Desert Treasure 2, The Fallen Empire. Much like the original, this new Grandmaster quest sees you journeying to 4 brand new areas. Within each one, you'll come face to face with a deadly new boss, Vardorvis, Duke Sakellus, the Leviathan, and the mysterious Whisperer. If you hope to uncover the secret buried in the Caridian Desert, you will need to defeat them all, but be on your guard. For nothing is ever as it seems when the Marjarat are involved. To say any more about the story of this quest would give too much away. What we can tell you is that completion will reward you in a way that you've never been rewarded before, because this quest will introduce our first ever prayer book, the Ruinous Powers, a relic of the Fallen Empire. It's still too early to share specifics, but rest assured that this won't be a replacement for your standard prayers. Instead, we're looking to create something similar to Ancient Magics, where you'll be sacrificing many of the prayers you've come to love, but getting some powerful new ones in doing so. But prayers are not the only reward from this quest, for you'll also be able to refight the 4 new bosses. Each of them will come with some exciting new uniques, including the iconic Virtus robes. Now at this point, you might be asking
Virtus
yourself,
robes?
who exactly are these 4 bosses, and where are these new areas you'll fight them in? The thing is, you might actually know more than you think. We've been paving the road to this quest for some time now. In fact, we've already given you a tease of 3 of these new areas. They have 3 quests released over the past 2 years. In 2021, we gave you Below Ice Mountain. Earlier this year, we gave you Temple of the Eye. And just a few days ago, we gave you the Garden of Death. But what about the 4th area? A few weeks ago, we pulled a new mysterious quest, giving no information on the story or much else for that matter. But today, we can reveal that that quest is in fact another new addition to the Marjarat story. So let's take a closer look at Secrets of the North.
Winter's coming.
Is a brand new master level quest that acts as a sequel to Azil Cult, Fight Arena, and Devious Minds. In this quest, you'll need to form an uneasy alliance to solve the mystery of a sudden murder. Completion of the quest will be required for Desert Treasure 2, The Fallen Empire, and will also unlock a new boss. This boss will be a solo-only encounter.
This is a solo boss right here.
Attacks and powerful new rewards. You better start panic buying your supplies now. As expected, with a new boss comes new rewards. So what are we offering this time? This boss is nowhere near on the same grandeur as a raid, so there won't be as many objective best-in-slot rewards. We'll be looking towards small, incremental upgrades and experimenting with unique niche effects that might have powerful use cases. The Forgotten Brew will be a sequential upgrade to the Ancient Brew, bolstering the magic boost effect significantly to match the ranging potion. This will use an existing Ancient Brew and a new consumable resource to create. In addition to the Forgotten Brew, we will also be introducing the Saturated Heart. Using this new consumable resource on your imbued heart will saturate it, bolstering its power, reducing the cooldown and increasing the boost effect significantly.
Oh, dude, I gotta go buy some more imbued hearts.
Also be offered in the form of the Ancient
I'm too lazy. I don't care.
An upgrade to the Ancient Staff, created by using the Ancient icon on an existing Ancient Staff. This would be a fairly minor upgrade, offering a small amount of additional magic strength bonus and accuracy, but also adding the passive effect of buffing all ancient magic effects by 10%. This means bigger heals, bigger poisons, bigger reductions, and even longer freezes. The big one comes last, the Venator Bow. The Venator Bow will be a new range weapon that has a mediocre range of 6, an attack speed of 5, 4 on rapid, yet has a unique and powerful effect of arrows being able to ricochet off the primary target's head, bouncing to the targets nearby. This bow will be extremely powerful at killing 2 to 3 targets quickly, as well as being able to deal strong single target damage if you have 1 additional target nearby. So there you have it. Not 1, but 2 new quests in the Marjarat.
Does it work in PvP? Can you just start dumpstering clans?
We can't wait to share more about Secrets of the North and Desert Treasure 2, The Fallen Empire, but until then, thank you for watching.
Dude, my ear's packed. My ear's packed, dude.
Well,
oh my god.
England are out, but the Marjarat are back.
Hey, good one.
So, the mysterious quest we pulled earlier this year finally has a name. Secrets of the North is our first continuation of the Marjarat storyline. and it's coming out on the 11th of January. That's just a few weeks away, really, isn't it? A month away. As if that wasn't hype enough, we've also got Desert Treasure 2.
Yes.
I know this
That's
is
so
one of the ones
crazy.
I've been really looking
That's
forward
so
to,
crazy, dude.
Revealing, so hell yeah. 17 years later, it's a long time, and we're finally ready to follow on from the absolutely epic original. So, if you're hyped for it, can we get a smiley in the chat? Some wholesome content right there. And yeah, speaking of Desert Treasure 2 and the last announcement, Arcane and Ed, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
Pretty warm right now. I've got 3 layers on.
Where'd Goblin
no air
go?
Conditioning. Sweating.
Yeah, I'm shouting, mate. It's fine. You're doing way better than me.
How you doing, Ed?
Yeah, pretty good. We first teased Desert Treasure 2. I think it was 3 years ago. A little like quote from Gnome Child at a birthday event, just like a throwaway quote. And now we're finally announcing it, and that is. It's the big one, isn't it? When you think back to like old school storytelling to like 2007, like the Marjarat, that was the storyline, and we are finally bringing it to old school.
Yeah, it is really so exciting. So shall we get into some questions then? That sounds like a great idea. So before we do go deeper into Desert Treasure 2 itself, let's have a chat about the quests coming up very, very soon. Secrets of the
This is
North.
crazy, boys.
Ed,
Big
can you give us
updates.
any hints on what to expect from this one?
Well, don't want to spoil too much, but I think we mentioned this is well, not just our first Marjarat quest in old school, but a sequel to 3 existing quests: Haziel Cult, Fight Arena, and Devious Minds, and that is quite an interesting
Stacking on
trio of
supplies.
quests to be continuing. And one of the things that was always like really exciting about the Marjarat storyline, like back in the day, was that it wasn't just this linear storyline, like one quest after the other. It was all these sort of like individual Marjarat doing their own thing, and their storylines like slowly combining and joining and building up to this one big finale. And that's, I think, something that's going to be really interesting about this one. Like Haziel Cult and Devious Minds, how on earth are those storylines going to combine? I mean, I know how. I'm not going to tell you how, but yeah, it's really exciting. Really looking forward to that. Haziel Cult in particular has been quite an interesting one in that it's a bit of a weird quest in that you can like choose 2 different paths, and Secrets of the North, it's not going to be 2 separate quests, it's just one quest, but it does still sort of like acknowledge the path you picked. So there's some like really interesting.
What do you think they're saving for the very end? If they're announcing all of these things like they're nothing, what the hell are they saving for the end of the Winter Summit? There's no way they're not ending with the most hype announcement of all time, bro. I mean, we just literally saw Desert Treasure 2 come out. We just saw account locks for Pures, bro. Like, you can do quests on Pures now. Expansion into woodcutting. Account security buff. I mean, I'm talking like one of the best animations I've ever seen gaming-wise for RuneScape ever. I mean, that boat scene was saucy, to say the least, bro. What are they saving, dude? What are they saving, bro?
Some really cool mechanics that I'm hoping feel
Leagues?
really good to interact with, and it'll be a fun
Bro,
grind to do for a while.
yeah, Leagues, huh? We haven't
And
seen any
obviously
Leagues
the art team
content
did
yet.
a fantastic job, and a lot of the animations and things.
Player-owned ports?
And
No fucking way.
So the big one is the bow, right?
No
So the bow can hit
way.
multiple targets. We don't really have many of that. We have like kind of chins, and we have ice barrage and all the different ancient magics. So they're obviously really good for mass targets. So it's like 9 to 11 targets, but the bow like really excels at like 2 to 3 targets. And we don't really have much of that in the game right now. And whilst it isn't going to be like, oh, on this boss, you just camp this bow all the time. Like, that's kind of what we do with most of our mechanics right now. You pick the T-bow, you pick the bowfoe, you pick the rapier, and you just camp that weapon for pretty much the entire thing. This is going to be more of like a utility switch of like, I equip this, I blast like 2 or 3 targets down, maybe in the Analycus room, or in the TOB's like Maiden, where you've just got a couple of ads spawning every now and again, you can just blast them down. It'll be more of like a tech switch that people decide to bring to the various pieces of content, and I hope that'll just be really fun to use, because we don't really, again, have many of those kinds of items. You generally just camp a certain weapon for a long period of time.
This shit is fire, dude.
Yeah,
I'm so glad we're here right now.
Testing the boss in the office, mostly at home nowadays, but obviously.
Boys, by the way, if you main RuneScape, if RuneScape's the only game you play currently, you should be stoked that this is happening, right? everything we've announced feels so good for the longevity of the game, and it's honestly just straight up hype, dude. They're able to just bring hype into such an old game, bro. I'm buzzed. I'm buzzed right now.
The summit and including the summit, so mad props to them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is exactly what you want to see on a game you made.
Let's cut straight to the chase. New prayers, the ruinous powers, a new prayer book. Can you tell me a little bit more about this and what players might expect to see come from it?
Well, I guess the important thing that what players can see, what they won't see, is that this isn't just going to be curses. Like, obviously there is like clear like connections there, a new prayer book, connections to the Marjarat storyline, but we are very strong commitment here. We have no interest in bringing curses to old school now or ever.
Yes,
this is going to be
fuck
something new.
curses.
Because of those thematic ties, like inevitably.
Get them out of here.
A few little crossovers
Garbage.
here and there, but we want this to be something different. And
good.
Because we're not really looking to replicate curses, probably actually a better comparison what we're doing here is what we're looking at is how spell books work, where it's not like curses where you have your normal prayer book, but as soon as you've unlocked curses, it's sort of like a leveled up version. You never need to go back to the old one. It's more like the spell books where, like, you know, sometimes you use the ancient spell book, really good in some places, but you would never use it in others. And likewise, you know, Lunar spell book, like, there's utility to all of them. You're going to be swapping between them. That's very much what we're aiming for this prayer book. So hopefully some real, like, big boy new prayers on this, like things you are definitely going to want in like certain locations where you are not going to want to be going without this prayer book, but also sacrificing like some prayers on the normal prayer book, but you're definitely going to want to be switching back to it. So they both have their sort of like place in the game.
It's not just going to be combat either, right? We can go pretty wide with it.
What is this going to be?
We can affect skilling. We can affect obviously a lot of PvP interactions. Like, hopefully this new prayer book has something for everyone.
I think that's an interesting idea. I don't think prayers really touch skilling at all.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'd never even thought of it, and I've been sitting here like working through the content, and never once did it cross my mind that prayers could affect skilling.
We have preserve.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, something. It's there.
Hopefully, hopefully this will be a bit more useful than preserve.
Yeah, maybe.
That's sort of like our minimum. Like,
sure. Okay, if you beat
skilling supplies are going to go.
Fair enough. I think we should probably set the bar a little bit higher, maybe. But how about talking about that? You know, in fact, we've got the new polling system in place now. So how much will you be looking to lean on the community to help shape this new prayer book?
Hopefully, like quite a lot. Like, one of the reasons why we're being a little bit vague here isn't just because we want to keep secrets. It's because, truth be told, like while we know roughly like what sort of directions we want to go in with this prayer book, like we were just talking about, the specific prayers, to be honest, still pretty up in the air, pretty
prime time merchant ideas.
Hopefully, like we can work quite.
Dragon Eggs.
People have suggestions.
It's already gone up though.
And like this can be a prayer book that we all create together.
Oh,
nice,
that would be lovely,
nice,
wouldn't
cute,
it?
Cozy.
It does sound
yeah.
cute and cozy. I guess it's a pretty good chance for me to remind everyone that at the end of this evening's stream, there will be a blog going live, and that blog will include all of the detail from the content that has been showcased this evening, as well as poll questions. Those poll questions go live on the 20th of December, and I think it's okay.
No turmoil.
I'm sorry if it's not, but I'm going to confirm that one of those questions is whether or not that prayer book should be added, because obviously we do want to involve the community as much as possible, so we may as well find out now, straight away, whether or not it's something that you actually want to see added into the game. So you'll be able to have the blog open for a week and a half or so before polling starts, and then you can let us know exactly whether or not we should add it, and then we move into hopefully what will be the next stage of community consultation and figure out exactly what that prayer book looks like. Now, of course, before you can start using the new prayers, you'll need to complete Desert Treasure 2, The Fallen Empire. Can you tell us any more about the quest itself?
Yes.
Well, no spoilers, of course, but we've already dropped, like, as I think I mentioned earlier, like we've been hinting at sort of the storyline for a good 3 years now, and that trailer there also
I'll take left cheek, thanks.
Hints in as well. So between all of those, hopefully, like if you've been paying attention, we can start to put work a few things out. But beyond that, what we can say is that you know, it's a sequel to Desert Treasure, and that's not just in the story, but also very much in sort of like the way it's going to play as well. It's going to be sort of that very classic feel where we've got Power of 4, we've got 4 new bosses, and they're going to, each of those is going to be found in a brand new area. So we've got 4 brand new areas, and as sort of announced earlier, there's 4 setup quests setting up those areas, with Secrets of the North being one of them. And these areas are very much sort of like, they're almost like the starring characters of this quest. The quest is called The Fallen Empire for a reason. Like the Fallen Empire itself, not going to really say too much more, but each of these 4 areas has some like connection to that, and they're all areas that are brand new to old school. In fact, the think really, on the whole, the 4 areas are also not areas that have been seen in like RuneScape either, in RuneScape 3.
Wow.
So it's hopefully
completely new content, boys.
And hopefully very exciting.
Fresh.
And yes, of course, at the end of all those 4 new areas, brand new boss as well. 4 new bosses. You'll be fighting them in the quest.
As if it didn't need to get any hype anymore as it was. Like, come on, we're going to calm it down.
After the quest as well, we're gonna be making these as
4
mentioned
farmable
earlier,
bosses.
That can be
Holy shit!
4 fully fledged new bosses coming with this one.
Damn, so a
That's
lot of
huge.
content coming from these 2 quests alone. Before we move on to some questions from chat, there's just one thing that I think is worth at least going over, and that is just a little bit more about the 4 bosses. Not looking for spoilers of any sorts, but it's more to do with the way that we approached what is now known as Secrets of the North. Obviously, many players were left itching to get a better understanding of what difficulty the Phantom boss was going to be at. Is there anything that we can share in terms of how difficult these 4 bosses may be? What kind of level would they sit at?
So it's sort of another one where we're still very early in the process here, but this is a Grandmaster quest. This is our first Grandmaster quest since Song of the Elves, and the bosses in the quest itself are going to reflect that. So you look at existing Grandmaster quests like Song of the Elves as mentioned, but also Dragon Slayer 2 with Vorkath and Galvek. Like that sort of gives you an idea of what sort of difficulty you'll be facing in the quest itself. For the post-quest bosses, we're aiming to do something similar to what we have done with Vorkath again, and what we're doing with the Secrets of the North boss, where the post-quest versions are going to be that bit harder, even a bit more of a challenge.
Okay, awesome. All right, thank you so much. Well, maybe we can quickly jump into a few chat questions that we can quick fire out. Kieran, if you want to just take the reins on this for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we know
huge.
the requirements yet?
My brain hurts. Too much going on.
Oh boy. So we know. So we haven't decided on the skill requirements for Desert Treasure 2 yet, but we do know the quest requirements. So we're all ready. Let's see if I get it right. So, unsurprisingly, first requirement, Desert Treasure 1. You will need to fully do Desert Treasure 1 to complete it.
Fuck off.
And then we also have Anakra's Lament as another Marjarat quest that's leading into this one.
Glad you said that, not me.
I gotta do that.
Maybe I pronounce it right, maybe I pronounce it right. The beauty is, being the lore guy, if I say, yeah, that's the
what you say goes,
like,
it's fine.
You can't disagree, can you? Like, and then the other 4 are the 4 quests that are setting up the 4 new areas. So that being Secrets of the North, which is coming out in January, which is in itself also a Marjarat quest. And then the other 3 being Below Ice Mountain, Temple of the Eye, and the very recently released, just a few days ago, Garden of Death. And then there will be skill requirements as well. One of those skill requirements will be prayer with the new prayer book, but not quite sure what those requirements are going to be yet. And we're also recommending a pretty hefty combat level for this one, combat level of 100. As always, it's just a recommendation. No, people will try it earlier, some of them will succeed, I'm sure, but 100 is a recommendation. So again, on par with the other Grandmaster quests.
Chat seems really apprehensive about any runecrafting requirements. Can we confirm, deny any of those?
Well, the thing is, with Temple of the Eye being a requirement, there's some runecrafting content there. I think it's only fair that, 85 runecrafts.
85 to 90. It's Grandmaster quest.
Good job Guardians of the Rift came out not too long ago, so...
Please tell me you are
joking.
joking.
Part of designing these quests, and I guess the same for bosses. It'll come to you first then on the quests.
I think with these ones in particular, like, there is... There's a lot to live up to, let's be honest. Like, as I mentioned earlier,
85, dude.
When it comes to Marjarat, it is quite possibly the most iconic storyline that RuneScape has ever had. If you were to ask any player what the best quest ever released in a game is, there's a pretty high chance that Wild Gothic 6 is going to be up there. And if it's not that one, it's probably going to be Ritual of the Marjarat or Desert Treasure instead. So I think the really hard thing here is making sure we do justice to this incredible storyline. And I hope we have. I hope we will. Like, we're certainly trying our best. We're hoping.
Nah, that better have been a joke. That better have been a joke, dude.
A little bit 85. Done, like when we've continued other storylines, in that we want to be respectful of what that storyline already is. We want to be respectful of the direction that storyline went in RuneScape, especially this one, because those quests that released in RuneScape, they were created by Paul Gower. The ones we don't have in also, like Ritual of the Marjarat, he worked on Wild Gothic Sleeps as well. Like the OG storyteller, that was his vision. It would be wrong for us to go against that. But all that said and done, we're still very keen to introduce some elements that are completely new and unique to old school, to just to keep everyone on their toes and
as already mentioned, like the four areas, these are all like areas that, well, they maybe been mentioned in lore before in both games that you've never really been able to visit before. We've got a few new characters as well, and there are a few other surprises up our sleeves. So yeah, fingers crossed it all goes well.
Fingers crossed. And what about you, Arcane, for the bosses?
In terms of like what's the most important thing?
Pop another one here. Let's see if we get OSRS Summit trending on Twitter. That'd be sick.
Like, really interesting about boss development. I think you want everything to kind of have a gimmick where it like stands out as like this is the boss, like what it's like known for. Like, and as much as it's probably a bit of a meme at this point, Calphite Queen's gimmick is the fact that it just demolishes you. Like it doesn't roll accuracy on anything, so like that's almost the gimmick. And whilst that's not really great gameplay, it's known for that, and it gets a bit of an identity. And I think that's something that's really important for every boss to kind of have its really identity. Generally, that's quite an easy part of boss development.
Right now, we're just talking about boss development. So, for those who just came in, we're getting a woodcutting expansion. Huge. You're going to be able to woodcut with friends. And you're also going to be able to lock your account as well, which is not anything to do with woodcutting. But then you can lock your account experience. So, if you have a pure, a 10 HP pure, a defense pure, you can lock that in and you can go and quest. Whatever you want. Maybe all the quests. They're thinking about getting rid of defense requirements. They just kind of hinted at that. But you can now lock your accounts in. There's going to be an account security update too. We'll cover that when the blog comes out a little deeper. Bounty Hunter creators are coming out. Vesta, apparently all the overpowered armors that I'm not a big fan of, they're going to be used in the Bounty Hunter creators rewards. And now we have a bunch of quests coming out. Desert Treasure 2. 4 new bosses coming out, new prayer book if you complete it. If you just came in, there's been non-stop announcements. It's crazy.
Trying to put those in has probably been the biggest challenge for me personally.
Awesome. Any other questions?
What's up, Nani?
Follow up with?
I think for the most part,
Venge on Peers?
Based off what I've seen on the chat.
Yes, that's exactly what it means, bro. Yeah, you can venge on a pure when this comes out. The only thing is, are they going to put defense requirements on Barrow's Gloves, on Venge? Because you're going to be able to do these quests and just not get the experience until you unlock your account. Because it just kind of sits there in like holding, until you unlock it. Also in Bounty Hunter, no experience. You can attack with whatever you want, no combat XP in Bounty Hunter. So even if you don't have your account locked, you're still going to be able to do that.
Been writing so far, you've learned a lot, and I'm pumped to see what you do with Desert Treasure. So, hell yeah. So what a night it's been so far, but it's not over yet. We got one last thing to reveal.
This is the finale. Leagues. I think it's Leagues.
Hey,
I think it's Leagues.
I'm Elena.
And I'm Mod Husky. You might better know us as the developers who recently brought you updates such as Group Iron Man and Guardians of the Rift.
We're here to talk about something exciting, something we've tried before but not quite got right in the past. And that's how we'd like to work with you all to introduce old school RuneScape's first new skill.
Skills
are
an integral part of our game.
I knew they would have a skill. I fucking called that shit too.
And are one of the biggest player motivations while playing the game. Whether that's to reach a specific skill threshold to unlock content, to make money, to obtain unique items, or even just to enjoy that simple nostalgic feeling of receiving the level up message, hearing the jingle, and seeing fireworks above your head. Since the game's release, we've expanded on skills in a number of ways. We've introduced new milestones within a skill, new methods of training them, and new mini-games that you can play. But
sea shanty, by the way.
What we haven't done is add
sailing.
an entirely new skill into the game.
Sea
We're
shanty,
not here today
sailing.
to tell you what the new skill is. We don't even know ourselves. Right now, we want to understand how you feel.
The fuck kind of announcement is this?
What you want from one, and how we can do it right.
Wait a minute.
We want to work more closely
What is this shit?
than we did in the past.
No, that's not how that works.
In every step of
That's not how that shit works.
We have 4
What is
design
this?
pillars that we believe are important, no matter what the new
What is
skill
this?
is. Number 1.
You can't.
The new skill must be a healthy addition that is deeply
That's
rooted
not how
in the
you
game.
do it, bro.
It must provide meaningful progression. Number 3. It must appeal to a variety of player types. Number 4.
That's not how you do it, bro. You can't just have the biggest announcement be an announcement of an announcement that has yet to be decided.
And everyone should get something to look
What the fuck, man?
So, while we don't know what the new skill is yet, we are
That's funny.
excited to work alongside the community to find out together. But
Before we even get to
This
that
excavating,
point, we need to know
whatever.
whether you want a new skill in the game, regardless of what that skill is. To answer that question, there's a blog with more information about new skills and a poll live right now where you can vote and decide if this is something that we should pursue in 2023.
We're super excited about the prospect of adding a new skill, and we hope you are too. We can't wait to work together with the community to build something brand new that still keeps the essence of everything that is old school.
Yo.
Oh my god.
What the
That's
a big one. That's a big one.
That has been the hardest thing to keep secret for so long. Can you believe that we are here and we have got the absolute pleasure to announce that we are finally looking into adding a new skill since warding from way back when?
I've been wanting to do a new skill for a long time. We've touched on it in the Q&A maybe long ago as well, but I think it's the one real chance we have with this kind of update to add some really big, deep new mechanic into the game, which is something you can't do with most updates.
No, you really can't. Now, obviously, you heard it in the video, there is a blog that is live right now, and very shortly, I'm just waiting on confirmation from the team behind the scenes. There we go, I've just got it. The poll is also live. So the poll question is simply asking whether or not you want us to add a skill to old school RuneScape. It also states in the poll question that we'll be working with the community very closely to decide not only what the skill is, but also the details of the skill. So make sure that you go and check out the blog, read all of the details. There's a whole load of information in there that talks about our approach in so much detail. You'll understand from the very start to the very end how that process is going to work, and then obviously head into game and go and cast your vote. It's your chance to say, finally, whether or not we should be adding a skill. Now, in that blog, there's also a video. I recorded it in my bedroom, so please go and watch it. It talks about it. If you don't even want to read the blog, you can watch the video and find out exactly how it is that we're going to be looking at adding that skill into the game. As I said, there's a whole bunch of steps. If you vote yes to this question now, or if you vote, well, I mean, if you vote no to this question now, well, then the rest of it doesn't matter because we'll have to try again. But let's just say you vote yes to this question now. What does that mean? Does it mean that a skill is just going to get forced into the game? No, it doesn't mean that at all. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using that information to basically say, great, this means the community actually want us to add a skill to the game, and they want us to spend time developing a skill, or designing a skill, sorry. Once we've got that green light, we're going to then enter community consultation stage, which is where we're going to work with the community really closely to figure out what exactly the skill should be. What makes it a skill? What type of skill should it be? What are the top level features that need to make this something that the community actually wants? Once we've got enough information, we're then going to take it into the pitching stage. The pitching stage is essentially where we've got 3 different concepts that we're going to put forward to you. We feel like it's really important that we give you not just one design, not 2, but at least 3 that you...
Okay, so pretty much sailing failed, and then we had the warding, and now in order to get a new skill in the game, which I think would be good, I think it would be great, they have to be incredibly safe. They're playing it by the book, right? First, do you want a skill? Let's vote on that. Second, here's how we implement the skill. Like, I blame Reddit, bro, because they're walking on eggshells right now. And honestly, it's a community game. Fair enough. They should be very, this is a subject that you want a lot of caution on. But, yeah, bro, I'm excited to be a new skill. We don't get a release of this skill. We don't even know what it's going to be. But they are walking on eggshells. They're very cautious. You could tell. They're very, very cautious, man. Because I had assumed the skills they wanted to add before, they had a lot of work in those. And they had to scrap them. And that's not good when you scrap something you put a lot of work in for a game. So
we put that out to you and we say, is this the skill that you want? That's your chance to then say, yes, this is the skill that we want to be added to the game. If that question was to pass, it's locked in. That's the skill that we're going to start development on.
Oh, they could force it.
From there, we'll do multiple open betas, testing various different features of the skill, committing to a larger playable piece of content of the actual, full skill in its entirety to some degree, at least anyway, before it gets put into the game.
Slayer 2.
And we can make changes, so on and so forth. Now, sorry, Kieran, I realise I've talked a lot here, but I've just got one last little bit, and then we'll quickly talk about how you feel about it. Now, if we get to refinement and you just decide that skill isn't the skill that you want, it's just not there. The
eggshells, bro.
And the poll fails. Are we done? Are we just going to say, fine, we're not going to add a skill? No. What we'll do is we'll have a look at all of the feedback that we've got given, And if it seems like there are some obvious changes that we can make, then we'll make them. And if those changes would warrant that we were to repoll, we may look at repolling that same skill again. But if that was to fail and it just simply isn't good enough, we'll go back to the pitching stage where we had those 3 designs that we put forward to you before. Maybe there's another one that you prefer now that you'd like us to refine now that you know how exactly we're going to approach it. And then we can work through refining that instead. Obviously, you would be able to vote on that at this time. And we'll refine that, and then we'll poll that refined design and see if that's...
Skull, they're bringing Bounty Hunter.
If that doesn't work, we can go all the way back to the start of the drawing board, and that is during the community consultation period. We'll work with you to get more feedback so that we can come forward with 3 new designs and then continue that process on. Now, obviously, there may become a point where we've done this so many times that so much work has been gone into it that it's just simply not getting to the point that we need to, and we may need to take a small break, for example. But what I'm trying to get across here is that we really want to work closely with you to make sure that if we are adding a skill to the game, it's a skill that you're happy with, that you actually want to be added, and it's time spent because you want it being put in. So lots to think about, lots to consider. As I said, there is a blog live, so make sure you go check that out, and also go and have your say, go and vote, and let us know whether or not we should be adding a skill into the game or not. That's about all I can say in regards to that now, so it's finally time for me to give myself a little bit of a rest. Kieran, tell me how you feel. What do you think? You've been reading chat. What are they saying?
It's crazy to see that the vote is live right now. Like, you can go and have your say on it. I mean, to echo a lot of what you said, I think the biggest thing I've taken out of what our past attempts at polling a skill like warding, it's 4 years ago nearly now, is that we need to work with the community from the start.
Sure.
That collaboration needs to be baked into our design process from day one, pretty much. And
I mean, what if you just combine warding and sailing, dude? Like, you're deep taking items, but you're on a boat. I'm down, bro. Nova, I think you're ripped, by the way. Sorry, brother. I don't got those connects, dude. Even if I did, I wouldn't be out here throwing them out like that, bro. Ain't no way you getting your pet bag. Sorry, but that's in chat, bro. That hurts.
Yeah, get that across. But yeah, super pumped because it's one of the things I've really wanted to do. I think it's the only kind of update we've really never delivered. Obviously, we've done skilling updates, we've done quests, we've done bosses, we're adding Bounty Hunter back. Like, we've done all these different things for different communities. But a new
lost
skill
a TiVo to roll back.
Oh, I know.
How far back do they roll back, chat? Does anyone know? Because I lost some GP in the wild last night. I'm pretty sure it's gone. Yeah, it is. Yeah, never mind. I logged in. It was already gone. I already know. But about an hour? Yeah, I didn't know again.
Damn. Focus this time round. It's not us telling you what skill we're going to be adding. It's asking what skill do you want us to add, and working with them to figure out exactly what that means. And that is obviously a new experience to us as well. So I'm really excited to see exactly how that works out. We'll have a few chances before then with pieces of content that came out to trial out that approach. And honestly, I think it's like the best thing to be possible, like best situation possible. Working in community management, I get to work with everyone to help design like what this is going to be like. So it's going to bring the developers and the players closer than ever before. And I honestly just think that's absolutely incredible. We've got a few questions from chat, but before we get into them, I feel like everyone is kind of like spamming yays or nays, which is awesome to see. I wanted to remind everyone, even though you're already all spamming it, just in case you haven't said it enough, the keyword for the giveaway, the final giveaway of the evening, is freeze. All in caps.
So do they have any other announcements? Like, I'm hyped there's a new skill. It did feel like kind of like a bait though, right? It's like we got baited, but it's good. We're getting a new skill. All these things are great. Is there another announcement? Because I was really thinking we get like a new leagues, right? Or maybe like they'd go into maybe the wilderness boss is coming out because that's already been announced. But why not dig deeper? Great Winter Summit, by the way. I think this is huge. I'm loving everything. Just a quick summary of everything if you're just coming in. We got the Forestry update that has a woodcutting. So you're going to be able to woodcut with friends. There's going to be new items from trees. There's going to be a burning mechanic. It's going to be group skilling. And then the trees won't go down as fast when you're cutting it, which is nice. Also, we have accounts that you can lock accounts now. So if you have a certain build, you can lock that build and then go do quests. You won't get experience. That's insane. There's going to be a high score factor, I think. They said something about high scores for certain builds. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure if I heard that right. They're going to be doing some new account security, which we'll open up the blog in a bit and we'll get deeper into the account security, what they're changing. Seems pretty big. And then they're also doing, obviously, the big quest coming out. That's probably the biggest thing, honestly, to me, is the questing. Well, I can't forget Bounty Hunter. That's pretty big. Bounty Hunter, Bounty Crater's coming back. Vestas is coming back. I want to know more about that. I'm super hyped for that. It feels like it's going to be more deep wilderness, but probably still with a bit of 1v1s, no overheads, but you can go in there and brid too. But seriously, for me, though, I feel like the biggest one is Desert Treasure 2. I know Bounty Hunter's big, but Desert Treasure 2, that's huge. That's huge, bro. New prayer book, 4 new bosses, Grandmaster quest. I'm still stoked about the animation that I saw. My jaw dropped when I saw the boat in the water. That was so cool. So that's pretty much everything. We'll cover everything on the blog too, because it's already out. I just want to see if there's anything else.
Pretty much all of the banks across Gillinor.
I think we got through most of it though.
Box, it's got a little flag on it. You go vote there. If you don't want to go to a poll booth because you're in the middle of